If your team spends hours a day searching for files, policies, invoices, or client info, this video will pay for itself. I'm going to show you the exact RAG system. We're going to break down the step-by-step blueprint on how to implement this into your business. We install for agencies, businesses, that turns all of your living files into a business brain that you can talk to. You'll see how every layer works, why it's built this way, and how it cuts hours of manual searching. Think of it like this: 4 layers: sources, ingestion, intelligence, and interface. The rule: look up, then answer. If we can't prove it, we don't even say it. This is for people who run businesses with lots of information and also messy systems. You keep on digging through the tons of folders that you have, but time is money, and this kills both. Here's everything that we're going to break down in this video. How your living data flows using Drive, Notion, etc. into one single brain. How it cleans and embeds itself, how the RAG agent actually thinks before it answers, why it's never wrong, how it stays clean and can run forever without your help, a live showcase of it. Let's start with ingestion, because bad data equals bad answers. When a file is created in Drive, the trigger fires, it grabs the ID, downloads the file, it extracts text, normalizes metadata like client, project, date, then it chunks the text with a slight overlay in the paragraphs and keeps its context and sends it into the vector store. Metadata is king. It lets you filter by client, date, or document type instantly. Chunking keeps answers coherent instead of random sentences. For Notion, it's similar. We pull pages from selected databases, render them to text, we tag them with properties, chunk them, and upsert them into the vector store, like Drive. Every document gets a unique ID, so all the data is cleaned before new data goes in. No duplicates, no drift. The vector store is where everything lives. OpenAI embeddings stored in Supabase. Every query pulls around 12 to 20 chunks, and that keeps answers fast and precise. So far, we can retrieve, but that doesn't mean we're right. That's why we add one more layer: quality. This layer has 2 jobs: re-rank and filter. First, we re-rank. After retrieval, our cross-encoder reorders results by semantic accuracy. That's how we go from kind of related to exactly right. If nothing clears the score, the agent refuses to answer. Every response ends with receipts, the exact file names and links that backed the answer. Because answers are cheap, receipts close deals. Here's how the agent actually works when someone asks a question. The user's message enters lovable, NAN webhook passes it all into the RAG agent, or the future brain of your business, passes the query, extracts filters like client date or date. It queries the vector store with those filters, re-ranks and checks confidence, generates a short 2-sentence answer, adds receipts, file names, locations, and logs everything so the next question remembers the context. And there are some prompt tools that we hard-coded, is that always cite at least 2 sources, never guess. If something doesn't clear the bar, say cannot verify, respect filters like client or year automatically. It never talks from memory, only from your verified data. Next, reliability. These are scheduled jobs that keep it clean. We have a Drive cleanup, deletes any removed or moved or updated files. We have a Notion cleanup that is kind of the same. Get the pages, get the rows, code it up, see if there's any duplicates or something new, and deletes the old one. If you want this running in your business without building it yourself, book a free 30-minute call down in the description so I can see how I can help you. Most setups go live in around 2 weeks. So now I'm going to quickly test it out, show a live demo. I'm going to upload to here. Just going to open it up so you guys can see that there is some information here. Client invoice privacy policy. I'm going to save it. It's uploaded. Now if I execute the workflow, it should get ingested into our vector store, Supabase. There we go, injected. Now if we turn on our RAG agent, let's say we want to ask it about all of our client information. I would ask something like, can you please give me information about all of my clients. Let it think for a bit. Awesome. So here is the information about your clients. Okay, source, the exact name of the file, names, companies, contacts, statuses. Okay, so let's just see if it is correct. Yep, everything's there. Okay, let's just quickly ask it for the privacy policy. Can you remind me of our privacy and policy terms? Okay. Data collection, data usage, data storage, third-party retention, confidentiality, rights, and security. Yep. Everything's there. It got uploaded instantly. It answered instantly, and that's how it looks like. So this is the implementation plan if you want to do it by yourself. I'm going to leave the JSON file for the system in the description, so make sure and go and download it and have your own version of N8N hosted. Then you're going to go to create a new workflow, click the three dots here, import from file, and you're going to choose the file that I left in the description, click it, click open. So this is how it's going to look like. Instead of having webhooks, you're going to have a chat. It works here as well. You just click on open chat, type a chat message here, and you're going to get the answer there. Then you need to go through all of the credentials. It's really simple. You go to connect credential with, create new credential, open docs, and every single thing you need is there. So it's just going to walk you through that there. You need to do it for every single one you see here. It shouldn't take long at all. And you just need to activate these triggers that you can choose when you want. I mean, I just leave it like it is. Click right click and then you click activate. Right click, activate. And same goes for Notion as for Drive. You go to Drive. You need to create a credential with the mail that has all of your info, or the Google Drive that you mainly use. It has to use that email. So let's say you create a folder, in this case that'd be this one, and you need to upload files from your PC, otherwise it's not going to work. So you can't drag it from one folder to another folder. You have to download all of the files and then upload them to here. Since they already have an ID in different folders, and it's just gonna overlap and could get some errors, we don't want that happening. So just upload everything. So first you download all of the files onto your PC, then upload them here. When you get to the implementation stage, you choose the folder that you want, how it's named, and then you just click execute workflow. Of course, all of the credentials need to be filled in, and that should be it. Same goes for Notion. Open it up, Notion account, create credential, open docs. Everything is here that you need to know about the credential. When that is finished, it's going to be connected to one of your pages, which you're going to choose here. And then you're going to click execute workflow, and everything should be good. But one thing here in the HTTP request, now it's going to be blurred out since it's my code, but in this page here, authorization value, after bearer, this SK and then the rest of it, you're going to change that to your OpenAI key. So right now I'm just going to change it into your key here, and I'm going to leave it like that, and that really should be it. So I'm going to leave this instance of it down below so you guys can use it and see how it works. If you need role-based access We enforce that at query time, meaning each department only sees what they are allowed to. What about its security? We only index what you authorize, nothing else. Small team, I promise you it's still worth it. Even 5-person agencies waste hours looking for info daily. If you want this built for you, feel free to book a free 30-minute call down below. I'll see how I can help you and eventually implement this into your business with my help. And if it's not unfit, you still leave with the blueprint to build it yourself. Look up, then answer. That's the rule.